Hey, so welcome back again to the VET S.O.S. We're presenting our new name, Operation Startup. So remember, don't drown in the sea of transition. Grab the VET S.O.S. Lifeline. Operation Startup is proud to be affiliated with the Neil Haley Show and sponsored by Spirit Point Solution. So at Spirit Point Solution, what do you get? It's a one-stop shop for leading-edge products, services, and training from multiple vendors. And we talking AI training to corporate gifts and so much more. They have everything you need to help an organization thrive in the modern economy. So check out all the valuable offerings at spiritpointonline.com. Let's say that again one more time for the people in the back. spiritpointonline.com. And remember to basically, you please use our code VET S.O.S. When anything that you purchase there, that will help us continue our mission of improving the lives of those who have served. So in today's show, I have veteran advocate, black belt, Marine, entrepreneur, real estate investor, mentor, public speaker, technology professional, and a book nerd. Mr. Bill Boyle has overcome and conquered whatever comes his way. From that black belt to Marine, the black belt mindset has shaped his way of life, his mentality. With his drone training company, the Veterans Airspace Academy, his mission is to create a channel of purpose, direction, and ease of transition for service members and civilians. He's a man set to change his generation. How you doing today, Bill?
Doing fantastic, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. That's a great biography, man. You're doing a lot of things, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. The world's my encyclopedia, and I'm a student of it every day.
Absolutely, man. If we're not learning, what it says, was not learning, you're done.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, man. So let's hop into the interview, man. So I want you to take me back. You talked a little bit about in your bio about transitioning, but I want to specifically talk about your transition. So tell me about the top 3 things that you learned and how did they shape you from when you transitioned from your military life to what we call civilian life. Talking about that.
Yeah, well, the transition's not easy. That's the first thing. I thought it was going to be easier for me. Second thing is I didn't know that there was, so many great resources, like you guys and almost 40,000 other, non-for-profits and veteran support groups. I didn't know that coming out. And probably 3, I didn't think that that transition from military to civilian was going to be um, kind of depressing and hectic and not feeling like I was going to fit in. I think those were the 3 things that kind of were some challenges, transitioning. But how it kind of shaped me, you got to adapt and overcome. You got to pivot, just like what the military teaches you. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of that kind of uneasiness, those roadblocks, you got to go back to that military culture and foundation to try to pivot and try to make the best of it.
Got you. Got you. So now you get out. You decide to. Did you retire? Did you transition out? Or what was your situation?
Yeah, so I'm actually still in the reserves right now.
Okay.
I went on I've been on active duty twice so far. So my first time was just my initial training. I was going for 11 months, came off active duty, and then recently in 2025 I was on ADOS for 6 months and I came off active duty. So kind of already transitioned a couple times. So, just trying to kind of, help others transition as well.
Got you. And so in that transition, either time, did you want to, as we call, take the safe route and get a job, get a corporate job, maybe get a government contracting job or GS or civil service job? Was that any of your options that you wanted to do, or you really wanted to go straight into entrepreneurship?
Yeah, well, I actually, at the time, and I still am now, I work at a state agency. So, the entrepreneurship is kind of, always, a driving factor for me, and it's in my lifestyle. But for me, I want to take control, of my future, my career, and that's where I'm transitioning to still. But yeah, I have a state job that I work at, and now, trying to transition into entrepreneurship.
Got you. Got you. So it's safe to say that the stage you're in right now, you're kind of planning out the next 6 months to a year? Because that's usually the entrepreneur most people take. They'll have a job, and then once that entrepreneurial business takes off, they'll kind of transition more full-time into that. Is that kinda where you are right now?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I have a plan right now, in terms of, I kind of want to make sure that I'm hitting the ground running, with my business, but I'm also, learning from my workplace and what I'm doing, what my workplace is doing right and wrong, taking that into my business and continuing to build my business and my connections. So I can, work towards financial freedom and work
Mhm.
towards, being a full-time entrepreneur. Absolutely. But everyone has different avenues, and this is the avenue that I'm on, right now.
Absolutely. I mean, I definitely, can feel what you're saying. So just to put a cap on this portion of the questioning. So now you talk about a plan. I know sometimes, as veterans, as we getting out, we wanna maybe go into the deep end of being a full-time entrepreneur and not making that transition to where we have a job and until that business take off. So what was your thought process to say, "Hey, let me figure out a plan first before I go jump in the deep end and go full-time to be an entrepreneur?"
Yeah, well, I think, any business model, any, plan, right? You're not going to hit the ground running day one and start making revenue, right? So you're
Mhm,
going to have about 6 months of a year where you're going to have to be in the grind every day, planning and figuring things out until, you can financially, even look at that as a possibility of being able to feed off of that business financially. And for a lot of times, it takes 3 to 5 years to be able to say, "Hey, this is my source of income." So right now, I have I have 2 rental properties. I have real estate income coming off of those properties that I've been building. Right, I have my job income, and now I'm starting to build passive income with my courses. I have a drone service company. Right, so now I'm starting to build these avenues of passive income, and I really try to tell everybody, coming out and transitioning, like, you don't need to rush,
mm,
jumping into business. You should go into, an internship, or you should go into a job and take as much as you can away from it, right? And when you're ready financially and take that next step, when you build your business up, then you have that option. But don't put yourself in a corner, right off the bat, because most small businesses fail. 90% of small businesses fail.
mhm.
So, you should try to dip your toe in the water and move cautiously.
Got you, got you. So now that you have entrepreneurial businesses, tell me what's been the most rewarding part for you about being an entrepreneur? Like, what's that thing that gets you going each day?
Yeah, I just think the freedom in planning and making decisions, you are the driving factor of your business, and you are the driving factor of the difference that you're going to make in society. So I think that is probably the most rewarding thing as an entrepreneur, just being able to be the driving factor.
Yeah, you said it. You hit the nail on the head for me. I mean, controlling your own destiny is what I think of. Like you mentioned, that's what we get the chance to do as entrepreneurs. Now, we know as entrepreneurs, like you said, I mean, 6 months, a year, I mean, maybe even 3 to 5 years. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time before that revenue starts to come in for one, and then for two, become consistent. What's been the hardest or maybe most frustrating part for you in your journey, and how'd you deal with it?
Yeah, I think the most frustrating thing is sometimes you're not moving as fast as you think you are. And I think you have to, I have a daily planner. This is
Mhm.
my new book, right? This is my planner, and I have to,
Good old green
I gotta
book.
stay. Yes, sir, the green monster. You have to stay disciplined to that, your to-dos every day. Even if things aren't moving as fast as you want, or you may have had something locked up and now it's not locked up anymore, right? You have to keep moving forward and keep a positive attitude, even when things don't go wrong. Even when things go wrong, because that's part of the journey.
Mhm.
No small business, no business. is 100% perfect, is gonna hit 100% of the nail on the heads, right? You're gonna have a lot of hiccups, but that's where you learn. That when you fail, you're gonna learn, a lot more than, if everything goes good.
Got you. Got you. So now you transitioned out a couple of times. So before you started your entrepreneurship journey, did you take part in any type of programs, mentorships, communities to help you launch a business in the military space?
Um Yeah, I've had a lot of groups that, like Seven Eagle Group's a really good transition group out there. I'm a mentor for them. I hopped on a lot of their seminars and I listened to a lot of, um, what some of the presenters were saying and what the entrepreneurs were saying, really experience somebody in the industry learning from somebody that's really doing it is really where you're going to learn a lot. But,
Mhm,
I read a lot of
mhm,
books, man. A lot of entrepreneurial books, like Rich Dad Poor Dad, like really helped me. Robert Kiyosaki is a retired Marine, so like, he was someone that kind of is where I want to be. You know what I mean?
mhm.
I want to be where he's at one day. So, just reading a lot of books, but yeah, a lot of groups, a lot of veterinary groups and transition groups really do help.
Got you.
Mhm.
Got you. So
Gotcha.
now you have several different avenues you're in for entrepreneurship. So kind of tell us about those businesses that you're doing, exactly what it is you do, who do you serve, and what makes you maybe different than a lot of other companies out there.
Yeah, so, I got 2 rental properties right now, so I'm getting income off of that, remodeled both those houses, and, that's been really good for me, really good passive income for me, build my wealth, and then I also have, my drone and photography services business, that I primarily right now, am doing, real estate with, so we'll go out, we work with a lot of realtors, we work with, property management groups, and we go out and shoot the properties.
Hmm.
Take pictures, take drone pictures, do videography, video walkthroughs. So that's been really great avenue for me. Really been successful at so far. And then yeah, the Veterans Airspace Academy, we launched in December, and we're really excited because not only are we going to teach you how to get a drone license, right, but we're really teaching you about small business, right? Teaching you how to set up an LLC, teaching you how to market yourself as a drone pilot. So it's not just about, hey, get the license and there you go, but it's really what's after the license because anyone could get a license, but it's really what you're doing after
Hmm.
the license and how you're applying yourself, how you're marketing yourself, how you're setting up your small business, and then how you're connecting with, different people and different companies to actually get real jobs. So that's where I'm at. And then I do a lot of mentoring. I just joined ACP, American Corporate Partners, as a mentor. I'm a mentor with Seven Eagle Group. And, I was a LinkedIn top voice in 2024 for leadership in their leadership community when they had their communities, different articles, communities. So yeah, I'm just doing a lot right now. So
Okay, got you. So you named a few different things that you're doing. So for those who are listening or watching this video, where should they go? Where can they connect with you and learn more about your services?
yeah, definitely connect with me on LinkedIn. Connect with me, message me, and then also, if you're interested in hearing about the Veterans Airspace Academy, if you're interested in becoming a drone pilot, you're interested in starting a small business, um, we can check my website out, and then we can set up an intro call just to talk and just to go over some stuff.
Got you. Got you. So now last question here. So give our listeners, viewers, one piece of advice if they are military getting ready to transition out. What's that one piece of advice? And let's say they want to go to entrepreneur route. What's the one piece of advice you would give that person?
Really educate yourself and be patient. You
Mm,
know, um, the transition is not always easy, but as I tell people, God has you where He wants you, right? There's a certain point of time that you can't control. You can't control everything, but you can make the best out of that situation and educate yourself, be patient, and move forward, and seek help. You know what I mean? Everybody goes through uh, similar parts of their transition where they feel stuck. They feel like, they're missing something, and we all go through that because, it's part of the transition. So it's not anything to, you know, um, feel sorry about, or, it's normal. So that's what I would have to say.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much for that, man. I mean, it's definitely important to plug in. It's a lot of, like you mentioned in the beginning, it's a lot of organizations, a lot of resources out there that you can plug into, whether it be entrepreneurial, whatever it is you want to do, that you can plug in that will be like family. Be like almost like back in the military. I think so anyway.
Yeah,
Especially when they
absolutely.
speak the same language, speak the same, you've been stationed in the same places. They've seen some of the same things you've seen. They experience a lot of things you have, especially been in the military for a long time, like myself. You can really relate to that group. So I think it's very important. Well, Bill,
Absolutely.
thank you, man, for joining us today on the VET S.O.S. Podcast. And as well, if you need a lifeline, reach out to us here. We can help you out with your resources, help you out getting your business started. So reach out to us. Let us be a resource for you. So on behalf of the VET S.O.S. family, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. You can find VET S.O.S. podcast on all your favorite podcast platforms, YouTube, and all social media platforms. Make sure you subscribe and follow VET S.O.S. so you don't miss anything like this amazing interview we just did with Bill. And remember, don't drown in this here transition. Grab the VET S.O.S. Lifeline.